Hello, hello. It is Wednesday, August 27, 7:42 a.m. And so it's just doing pre-market review here. I think going forward, I'm just going to do the pre-market reviews and the Sunday preps. And I'll just save my post-trade reviews for myself because it feels like nobody's really interested in those videos. So it's like I can just do that myself and just focus more time on doing quality analysis, just kind of pre-market and after hours. So we'll continue to do that. Um, so for the dark pool levels on the Qs, just kind of looking at the levels from Monday and Tuesday going into today, it looks like 570s. This 570 area has been pretty interesting. Um, we had hundreds of millions. Let's say if we sum it all up in this 580, 570 range, you're talking about one, two, maybe 300 million ish. So, it's not too bad. And then I know on Friday we had some big levels at 572. So we marked those out. Um, and so that's just an interesting thing to keep in mind. And it's on the charts as well. When we look at options that will expire today, that were purchased yesterday. Um, so it looks like we have more bearish flow, which is interesting, but not by much. I mean, we're talking about like a million, 1 point, I don't know, 5, 4, 3. Um, and so a little bit more bets on the bearish side, but maybe that's hedging because, with NVDA earnings and everything else. And actually, that reminds me, let's see what NVIDIA, how do you, uh, what is NVIDIA, right? Maybe there's nothing here. Is that what it is? Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay. So there's nothing here that expires today. That can't be true. Um, wow. Okay. What about tomorrow? Okay, on the 29th. Interesting. All right. So there's nothing that expires today on the options front, which is super interesting. So nobody's being crazy risky there. So it's just something to keep in mind. But I think for me, the dark pool levels were pretty interesting, and so I marked those on the charts. We have um, some people showing up on CNBC in the news. Some Fed stuff here. NVIDIA earnings, I think, is the big thing after market close, and so we'll see if maybe we just edge up in anticipation for a gap up potentially. Um, I feel like that's maybe what's going to happen. When we look at all the kind of compare all the indices, you're looking at the Qs, broke up, closed on the greens. Now we're pre-market. We broke the high of the last 2 days, and we haven't really had a big pullback. So it feels like longs are really defending and not really either sellers are not selling or longs are defending really well. But it looks pretty poised to break up there. Um, On the ES, we broke the high of yesterday, so we're going to try again for the highs. We'll see. Um, did not break the high of yesterday on the Russell. Broke the high of yesterday on the Dow, so that's interesting. But everything looks super strong, super, super, super up. VIX. Yesterday, I think we were hanging out. We were opening up in the moving averages, closed down, a little bit of pullback. But if we break that low, then that'll be good. Dollar is going up, so that may be something to watch there. And Treasury kind of sideways, so it's fine. In our XLK ETF, looks like it reclaimed the 21 EMA and looks pretty bullish there. So, I mean, everything is pointing to upward. That is definitely what that looks like. And if we look at the mega caps, Let's see. Apple is super strong. Three green candles in a row. Really inching higher highs. Little, yeah. I mean, it's pretty bullish movement there. Um, Microsoft, oof, nice little breakdown. I don't know if that's a sweep of all these and a push back up. I think we'll maybe push back up with everything else. But for me, 517 will be an interesting level, that break level, to see what it does there. But maybe there's a short there on Microsoft, some weakness. And kind of looking at the chart, there is this big gap down here. Eventually, somebody's going to want to close that. So let's see what happens with that. But again, I think up is the near term direction. Amazon, yeah, Amazon looks pretty bullish there, just reclaiming all the MAs, strong candles. Google, a little bit of a pullback. It's holding yesterday's low, so that is good. Meta looks super bullish, reclaiming the 21 EMA. You know, I think that's just kind of going back up. NVIDIA is it broke. Oh, Nvidia has broken above this breakdown candle on the 19th, and I mean all-time highs is right there. I don't know if we get there right now. Maybe we wick, and then we kind of see, or maybe we just hang out right here, and then we decide what we're doing. But it's pretty interesting. Tesla, who breaking out, looked like it was poised to break out on the weekend prep, and it is breaking out, so that's pretty cool. And then the Qs, yeah, Qs look strong. Reclaim the 21 EMA, green yesterday. I mean, it's lower, lower high, lower high, lower high. But let's see what if today, if we can just break that, then obviously it's all those lower highs are invalidated, and also it's like lower highs, but the lower, I mean, one lower low, but you know, I think it's just a good. This is like a good support level with the EMA and everything else, and also I think all the way even down here is support really. This 566 level. So we'll see what's going on with that. And so as far as I don't know what I did, but it's fine. Okay, something's happening. Things are freaking out. And so yeah, I was talking about the dark pool levels, and so mark these two. So this one, this 572 up here, this was on Friday, so we had some like a billion. I don't know if it was $1 billion, but it was a nice big amount where it was worth drawing, and so I wasn't sure if we were going to fall over or what. And then now Monday, Tuesday, we've been accumulating at this 570 level on the dark pools, and we have this push up strong close yesterday. And so if I bought here and I'm also buying here, your average, if it was equal size, is here, unless you like, and I feel like this was bigger than this. Like here, these levels are like 300 million. I feel like this one was closer to a billion. I'll have to go back and look. Um, and so I'm trying to think, if you were big money and maybe you're like positioning yourself or averaging in here, like is your entry average here, or is it closer to here, or like is it closer to up here because you were just kind of nibbling down here type of thing. Um, but yeah, I think given we've pierced the high of the last 2 days and it hasn't really been a big pullback, kind of pre-market with Nvidia earnings and everything else, it feels like up into this key level, and especially with ES like at all near all-time highs, it feels like we want to go that way. So we'll be definitely watching this key level and this dark pool level. I do like how this key level is this breakdown point, and so we'll see what price does there. If we push really strong and reclaim and just go, maybe we just continue going. Um, but if we stall, I feel like maybe there's like a pullback into this and a push back up. Not really sure. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. Obvious key levels I have marked here, and then also this dark pool level. So I'll just see what price does in those little areas. Yeah, and so on the 1 minute, we'll be watching this. I think we're right under it. So let's see if we can reclaim it and keep going, or if we fall over back into here. You never know. But yeah, let's just see how we go. Also, NVIDIA earnings is after market close, so maybe today won't be too crazy, or maybe it will be in the morning, and then it kind of cools off going into earnings, and maybe we move pretty widely, but then come back to the mean before the earnings. You never know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, I mean, you can't argue with how strong the charts are, right? So I think everybody is bullish, and so that's one thing to keep in mind. I feel like we're all bullish. I mean, even this 1 hourly looks bullish. Like, so you have to follow what price is doing. Or I have to follow what price is doing and not worry too much about earnings and all these things. I mean, maybe we just hang out between these two levels until earnings as well. That's also very possible. So maybe I will watch this high as an interesting level for me as well, just to see what that does as well. Cool. All right, that's it for me. I will be back tomorrow, I guess, for my pre market prep. Thank you.